And we're live. And welcome, everybody. And thank you for joining us today. I am Rolando with Global Tech. My co host, he's over there on that side. High five or knuckles to Mr.
Knuck-
Dave Kelly.
Knuckle, social D.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. So,
Hey everybody, my name's
Dave, right?
sorry. The delay was
Yeah, Dave.
yeah.
So,
The delay was just causing a little bit of confusion for us.
okay. So today, what we're going to be doing is taking we're going to be taking not calls, no, but because we're always taking calls, we're going to be taking all your chats today from three streams. We're going to stream to Amazon, where we've got several products that we're going to get to and we're going to that we're featuring today. We're also streaming to YouTube. And we're also streaming live to Facebook. So if you're watching this in a live stream, you get the benefit to interact with us today and throw questions our way. Ask us whatever's on your mind, whether it's on topic or something else. Feel free. And if you're listening to us, just let us know where you are, where you're watching us from. If you're watching us from the DC area, where I'm at, Dave. Let me see, get that right. He's over in there, and he's over in the Boston area. So let us know if you're watching us where we're tuning in from. Um, so we're going to tackle today a topic that is on a lot of folks' mind, and that is the work from home and how work from home has impacted our lives from a technology perspective, as well as a workflow perspective, and how to overcome certain challenges. And one of the things that we want to look at today and explore, and Dave and I were going to talk about, is the technologies behind it and how to make a decision, how to get to making a decision on which technology is right as it relates to hands-free devices such as headsets like the one I'm wearing. We use this product. This is the one that I use to talk and engage and talk with colleagues as well as customers, and other devices such as speaker phones and some of the differences that are inside those technologies and how to arrive at which option would be best for your environment. Um, so today we're gonna start off today with a little bit different path. As we were getting ready for this, we had a little discussion here about what. And you can go ahead, Ori, and throw the trivia question for today. So this took some time to figure this out, but we finally sorted it out. So, in what year was the first Bluetooth device certified? And this would be certified by the Bluetooth SIG consortium. And we will reveal the answer at the end of the stream. But if you go on the web, you find some conflicting things. But we finally sorted it out and came up which device was first certified by Bluetooth SIG for usage on a mobile phone and other things. It's totally not what it looks like today. So with that, we'll jump into our discussion today for work at home. And this will be actually, we're going to bring you several series of these. This is our first series in the work from home technology solutions. And we want to go ahead and jump in and talk about the work home environment, which is different in the past. Okay. So if you're working at home today, you probably have distractions. There may be a dog here actually on screen that may come by. And if you've done any kind of Zooms, you probably have had that happen where you have maybe a dog or some other animal. Maybe it's a loved one. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your brother or sister or whatever. And you can't get away from it. And there are certain things to get around that. And then some of you may be working from home, but in an environment that may be actually closed. You may have your own room or in a basement somewhere, but you still get noise that impacts your work, so that you're kind of interrupted through the day. So we'll talk about those things as well. Um, and one of the other things that we'll jump into is to actually look at some of these differences between speakerphones and headsets. So, Dave, are you still there with me in
Yeah,
Boston?
yeah. I'm still here from
Over
Boston. We're
there.
getting our first snow of the year out here, so not very exciting, but yeah, we'll get back to nicer weather eventually. So yeah, so I'm still online, and wow, Rolando, things have certainly changed from a technology standpoint and also from kind of a working environment standpoint as well. The technology has really changed as far as how people are communicating. When the pandemic set in and people were sent home, people were removed from their desk phones from a traditional office setting. So people were sent home, and then they were set up with their IT teams with soft phones. The majority of folks are getting soft phones on their PCs, laptops, and mobile devices. And these are the folks that are now looking for some sort of communication device to help on those particular platforms. We were talking about the environments themselves. I was never looking forward to the day that I was going to invite my entire household to the office with me. Way too distracting. Unfortunately, some of those things are now out of our control. So what we do, we want to talk about headsets. What's the right one for you? Maybe it's a headset, maybe it's a speakerphone, but one thing is for sure. The microphones that are on our laptops and the speakers from our laptops, they're not really designed for communications. Laptop manufacturers, they make great laptops, but they're not device manufacturers. So for having the right tools, that's when you'd want to come to Global Tech. How can you be more productive and comfortable in your work at home environment? So Rolando, why don't we kick it back over to you? Let's talk about that we
Let's see.
that we
We've got
sell
we've
here.
got a couple of things that so in the workplace or the workspace really that you have a lot of folks have asked us over the years about wireless, and a couple of terms get thrown in together that probably good to clear up. So wireless, Bluetooth, and DECT. A lot of folks today assume wireless is Bluetooth, and we should just talk a little bit here about the differences because they do have a big impact on the device that you're going to pick. Um, in the old days, and still today, manufacturers went with the technology called DECT, which was the wireless standard for many years. And as phones came on, and mobile phones became more popular in the early 2000s, Bluetooth, as well as the devices that are used with those devices, started taking off. And now Bluetooth is pretty much the de facto standard when people talk about wireless. There's in terms of devices that are on the mobile device or that kind of device. We're talking about Bluetooth, but there's some real big differences to understand. So Bluetooth, and I was trying to come up with an analogy because Bluetooth is not the same. So if you have an Android device like I do, all right, or you have an iPad, which I also have. I'm such a geek we geeked out on technology over here. You have an iPad. The implementation is different on this iPad for Bluetooth as well as the mobile and as well as on the laptop. And because those implementations, if you looked at that like a pizza, if somebody made a pizza in New York and you put sauce, dough, cheese, it may taste and smell slightly different when you go to Chicago, when you go to Napoli, when you go to LA. And so all the different manufacturers have a base of standards to work with, but they may make it a little bit different. And now you throw a bunch of other layers on top of that, whether it's onions or meats or whatever, or other veggies, and you include the operating system that's in the mobile device. You include the operating system inside that laptop. You include the hardware. Where did they put the antenna on the device? Where is it on the laptop? How much resources are dedicated for that Bluetooth channel? All of these things impact the way the Bluetooth device, whether it's a headset or otherwise, operates on that mobile device or laptop. Or if you have a newer phone, like kind of the one that's behind me here, it has Bluetooth built in. It will also have a slightly different implementation as any of the devices that I mentioned. As well, when you're talking about Bluetooth, you have different considerations. Bluetooth is meant to be kind of a shorter range. And let me back up for a moment. So Bluetooth also has different ranges, and that's where a lot of people tend to come back to us and say, "Hey, I thought I could get 1,000 feet on Bluetooth or whatever," and that's not the case. There is a newer Bluetooth standard, and that new standard will allow some devices to get longer range on the mobile. And if you have a new headset and an old mobile device, you get the lower end of the range. Like 10 to 30 feet. And sometimes that's actually limited. And so I wanted to jump into also talking about the problems that you encounter with headsets or other devices that are Bluetooth. So one of the things that we get probably on a daily basis, somebody will call us and say, "Hey, I thought I could go 20 or 30 or 40 feet, and I can't get more than 10 feet." So why is it that I can't? Is there something wrong or defective with the device? And there may not be anything defective. Bluetooth as well as DECT work on the same principle as you have on your mobile phone. If you were to stick your mobile phone and you stuck it underneath your desk and put it behind your refrigerator, the signal kind of gets interrupted and you get a really low signal. Headsets and speakerphones and other devices that use Bluetooth operate the same way. And a lot of times when we talk to customers, their understanding of how that signal gets blocked is new to them. They just expect, hey, I'm just expecting 50 feet, 100 feet, or 300, whatever the claim is the manufacturer has, and they're not getting it. And so there we have some tips and tricks that we've learned over the years, and I wanted to share one of those. Um, I've been able to find, somebody gave me a suggestion a few years ago. If you're using a Bluetooth device, especially if you're on your laptop, I'll hold it up. And all this is my Bluetooth dongle that came with the headset. And I just put it into this extender. And on the other end, it goes into the laptop. So now this kind of acts as a virtual antenna, and I just stick it on the side of my monitor. And now instead of having this Bluetooth dongle way underneath under my desk, where my computer may be, or off on the side, where in the cubby or somewhere else where the laptop may be, and you may have a monitor or two, and the signal can't get through to the dongle, this allows you to stick it somewhere where it acts kind of like an antenna, and now you get a little bit better range just by doing that. And so some of these little tips and tricks we've learned over the years, and we want to help our customers understand that these kind of things can help overcome some of the challenges that you may be facing. So, Dave, one of the other things that we'd been talking about in the past with other customers were actual products and trying to help somebody determine what's right when you're using, let's say, a PC.
Sure.
And I'm on Zoom or Teams or something like that, and versus somebody who is all day long talking to people, interacting. Maybe they need to have their sound operate at the optimal levels that's blocking out noise. Let's talk about how some of those differences impact the purchase decision of a customer.
And it's what's important for users to know is a lot of this has to do with wearing preference and what you're looking for. A headset can be wireless, a headset can be corded. So first you want to consider, your budget and really what are your needs, what are your requirements. So ask yourself, are you looking for a wireless headset? Are you looking for a corded headset? So because we're talking about wireless technologies, I'll focus in on that. A wireless headset obviously has many benefits to it. Not only are you able to be hands-free, but now you can be mobile. And when you're in a home environment, there's some other things that come in that aren't associated with work that might make you have to leave your office area, but really nice when you're not away from your phone. So if your clients are calling you or if you have coworkers that are trying to get your attention, as long as you have your headset on, you're away from your desk, that's fine. You have that connectivity. So you want to ask yourself, are you looking for a wireless or corded headset? And then from there, it's kind of like wearing styles. There's earbuds, there's over the head, there's one ear. This is a 2-ear or binaural headset. So you want to find out, what are you looking for in terms of style. Now, connectivity. You were talking about soft phones and Zoom. Zoom's the hot word. Everyone's talking about that. It gives you the ability to have your phone on your computer. And obviously, a headset connected to your computer has its benefits. But don't forget, these are Bluetooth headsets. And while you can connect to your PC or your laptop, you can also connect to your mobile device. So I have my soft phone as an app on my cell phone as well. So what that gives me the ability to do is when I leave my office, wireless range is certainly important to me, but I'll pair my headset up to my mobile device, put this in my pocket, leave my office area, And then if a coworker calls or I get a call from a client or a customer, I can just open up my mobile device. I'm changing my laundry in my home. My kids are being noisy. My dog's over there, but I don't have to run back to my office. I can just open up the app on my phone, answer my phone call. I have caller ID. I have all of the functionality there. So having a knowing that you don't necessarily have to be tied to your PC all the time. Consider the fact that a lot of the UC applications that folks have out there, they do have apps. And when you have a Bluetooth product paired up to your cell phone, the wireless range is from here to here, but I can walk as far as my network will allow me. No more phone tag. Um, get a lot more done. Now, this particular headset, and I will highlight it at the bottom, this has certainly been a big seller recently since everyone was being sent home. This headset here, it's 2 ears. It has what's called active noise cancellation, and it also has a noise canceling microphone. The noise canceling, there's two types of noise canceling. Noise canceling microphones are good for keeping your environmental noise from reaching your client. Active noise cancellation is it's where you can flip a switch here. It will introduce like a white noise almost, where it's blocking out the environment. So even though there's a zoo out that door, I can focus on what I need to focus on by turning on my active noise cancellation, and now I'm not distracted with my people out there. Another real quick feature, Rolando, before I push this back over to you, is this particular microphone on the Jabra Evolve 75. There's a mute feature when I rock the switch up. When I turn this up here,
Oh, shit.
now when I bring it back down,
Oh,
it turns it back off mute, and now I'm talking again. So there's a lot of use for that. It might just be you have to cough or clear your throat, but it could be some drama that's happening that has nothing to do with office work that you just want to keep out of the conversation. So Rolando, back to you.
all right, right. Well, I'll tell you what. I've been interacting with some of our folks that are throwing us some chats, and I want to throw some love right back at them. Sarah, thank you for joining us. She's listening in from Florida. I got a question from Joseph. Joseph, love to know where you're watching us from today. It says, "What is your favorite plant?" And I've got a lot of green back here. Um, and my favorite plant is kind of off camera a little bit. You see it on well, it'd be my left. It's a rubber plant, and interesting story. Drove back from Vegas with it when it was maybe that big, uh, that like that, and came back home with it, and now it's practically almost to the top of the ceiling. So with a little bit of love, sunshine, and some frequent watering, it's grown. I've been wanting to get one for years. So yes, rubber plant. I also love my fern. It's down here too. Um, that one is also is a really teeny little plant, but I absolutely love that fern too. Um, Zach, I think I know who's this Zach is, and I think oh yes, Zach says that kids and active noise canceling, and you were just talking about how active noise canceling is good for blocking out the sound of maybe kids and dogs that are barking, and that on that particular headset that you're wearing, I love it. It's that boom is just mute and you're done, and people don't have to hear that part of the conversation. So Zach, thanks for your question. Thanks for tuning in. Um, let's see, who else do we have? Lorenzo's also enjoying the live stream. Okay, Lorenzo, thank you. Thanks for watching us, Lorenzo. Um, the other thing, I was thinking while you were doing that, what we could jump into since we were talking about product. Ori, can you queue up the Jabra 75? Ori's you can't see him. He's behind the curtain, so to speak, helping us out here, making sure that we stay on point with what you can see and all the videos and graphics. There's just no way we could do this. And by the way, remember that last year, Dave, we were in a nice, comfortable studio. It was sometime in July. It's a nice, beautiful day, just on the outskirts of Boston, sending the prime time. It was a prime day broadcast that we did, and now obviously COVID changed all of that. So we're enjoying the cozy confines of our individual homes. And now we have somebody that's just helping us on the back end here with all of the graphics. So, Ori, if you could throw it to the Jabra 75 video so the folks can take a look at that. So it's short 1 minute video on that product, which are also featuring. If you're watching this on Amazon, you'll see it right at the bottom of your screen. It's being highlighted right now. We have those in stock. So go ahead.
I'll tell
All
you,
right.
Rolando, one of my favorite products. I mean, yes, I happen to be wearing it right this moment. We,
Oh
we
yeah.
have access to all of this great technology. Everything that ad says is true. The one thing that really
We had it
sticks
here
out
too.
is, yeah, the comfort level of these products. You know, if you're a casual telephone slash headset wearer, you know what, you may not realize that after 8 hours of wearing a headset, it can be relatively uncomfortable. The products from Jabra and this particular unit, the Evolve, the materials are so nice. You can really feel the quality. Uh, Easily something that you could wear, yeah, 8 hours a day and not be overly frustrated, you know, with the comfort levels. And that's really important with your productivity. You know, if you're able to keep a headset on all day because you're a phone worker, you're not missing those calls. You know, you can have your conference calls. You're nice and comfortable moving between different applications. You might be using it for phone calls for customers, and then jumping on Zoom meetings here. And then when you're doing some sort of tasks, I like doing some streaming for music or whatever it is. I'm scared to know how long I'm wearing a headset throughout the course of a day because I'm sure it's longer than 8 hours. But you know, for the folks that are on the phone a lot, please consider this Evolve 75. It's
Yeah, and
just a
on this,
wonderful product.
and that's what we've got. We got on the screen right now is our Amazon page where we've got a bunch of different images. So if you click on the image that's in the bottom of the screen, it'll take you to this the product page, and you could see we've got a couple of different things. Why don't we just show Ori? Go to the third image there to show people what's in the box. So there we go. You get a couple of things. You get a travel case, a charger. In this case, you get a bonus wall charger as well as the dongle, the Bluetooth dongle that comes with it. So you could use it both on your PC and obviously comes with Bluetooth, so you'll be able to use it with your mobile device. And we have plenty in stock right now, and those are being shipped out by Amazon. So if you're a Prime member, you will get this shipped to you. In some cases, you may have authorized Amazon to deliver right into your garage or into your even home or car. You know, that's something that's a benefit now of being a Prime member. And if you're not on Amazon, you're watching us on Facebook and you're watching us on YouTube, you can certainly you may be a Prime member, so you can also get this Evolve 75 by Jabra. So as we continue and we move on, one of the other things that we wanted to highlight were a couple of other products. So the product that I'm using, and if you want to show Dave and I side by side, I'm using a Sennheiser SD Pro, and I really like this product. I just showed you I have the exact same headset that Dave Dave's got that he's wearing. Uh, right, yeah. And the difference is that this product is mainly designed for users that have a need to be either on the phone, like you see this phone behind me. I happen to have a desk phone that's connected over IP. And in our other segments in the future, working from home, we're going to talk about IP technologies and platforms. But needless to say, I'd get calls through that, and I also do a lot of online conversations with on Zoom or Teams or some of those other technology. And because I'm primarily using my device for PC communications as well as desk, I like a device that is designed for that use. Now, could you use the 75? It's a Bluetooth with that desk phone. With the Bluetooth built into that, you could, but if you have an older phone that doesn't have Bluetooth built into it, you can't go that route. And so you would have to go the route kind of like what I have, which I actually like. And it gives me a lot of battery talk time. It also, you can't see it off to my right here, but it comes with a base station that shows you how much battery talk time. And Dave, if you could, I don't know if you're highlighting the SD Pro, which is what I've got on my head by Sennheiser on the carousel. Thank you. The SD Pro also is it's very lightweight. So I like you, Dave. I'm on all day long, so it's got plenty of talk time. But the fact that the base tells me how much talk time I have left sometimes, and you've played around as many headsets as I
Yeah.
have. Once you get down low, all you get is in a lot of other devices a beeping that tells you it's an indicator that your battery is low. There's no visual cue um, for a user that's using it for their PC that you've got a battery that's running down on your phone, on your headset, and this one does provide that. So I really love that feature because I've used enough headsets to know that you may be in midstream conversation and all of a sudden, boom, the audio goes down and you're talking to somebody and you're like scrambling for another device. And if you're on the phone as long as I am, which is usually all day long, then you don't want that to happen. So I could just look down and I could tell, and then if just pop it back in to the charger, and within a few minutes, I've got enough juice to probably last me the whole day.
And
Um,
talk time and battery life and talk time are so important, obviously, because as you're saying, if we get to the end of our day and if the battery's dead, scrambling for a device or maybe not have a device at all. What I really like about the batteries in today's products are they use lithium ion batteries. They don't suffer from things like battery memory. You don't need to
the old
completely
days.
discharge it. You can charge it at any time. And I'm pretty sure some of these headsets, like the one that you're wearing, the SD Pro 1, also the SD Pro 2, because it is available with the binaural version as well. But with those batteries, Rolando, I'm pretty sure even a quick half hour on the charger gives it about 75% or more of its battery talk time. So for folks that are concerned, hey, it only has 10 hours of talk time, and what if I don't put it on? You know what, if you take a 10-minute break here and there, you can throw it on your charger. If you take a lunch, throw it on the charger. But even if you forget to do that, a couple of minutes on that charger is probably going to give you enough juice to get through the end of the day.
You're right. Absolutely correct. So I think it's a good segue to show the folks that are tuning into us today, or if you could cue up the Sennheiser SD Pro video, so we could show the folks that. Okay, great. Go ahead and roll it.
For 70 years, we have been advancing the science of sound. And from this legacy, we've created the SD series, a range of premium wireless headsets for the quality-conscious professionals who use both desk phones and soft phones.
With the Sennheiser SD series, we aim to give our users a warm and more natural sound, to catch the emotional tone of the callers' voices, just like in a face-to-face conversation. And we achieve this with the Sennheiser HD Voice Clarity. The SD series provides you with the ultimate freedom to move around the office while being hands-free. We have 3 different SD headsets, the binaural, the monaural, and the 2-in-1 solution. And the unique feature is they all fit the same base station. Beside the different varying styles with the Pro 2 and the Office, we have one major difference between those solutions, and that is the fixed boom arm here on the Office solution and the bendable boom arm on the Pro solution. All headsets come with noise-cancelling microphones, which filter out unwanted background noise, so that the user is understood loud and clear. The Sennheiser ActiveGuard technology protects the user from acoustic shocks. I really believe that we have succeeded in creating a headset that gives a premium sound experience to both the user and the listener. The SD series is optimized for the leading unified communication platforms and gives the user the full interoperability. The SD series simply captures the essence of perfect sound.
Sennheiser, the pursuit of perfect sound.
All right, so those are from our friends over at Sennheiser, and we've been working with them for some time now, and the products are bar none. But Dave, the folks over at Sennheiser recently did some restructuring, and a lot of questions that we've had recently, because this is a fairly new thing. Sometime in the middle of the year, they started converting over to a new name in the U.S. called EPOS. So it's EPOS, but it's pronounced EPOS. And so one of the things that customers have come back to us and say, hey, what is this device that I'm getting?
Mhm.
And if you kind of see behind me, I'm just going to reach over here. They've changed their name. So this is actually one of the speakerphones on our channel today. Let me see. Let me rotate it this way. I'm not a very good fan of white yet. We'll get there. I can't figure it out because it's like a mirrored image. There we go. So
There it
EPOS.
is.
So they used to have Sennheiser on there, and now that they are known as EPOS, you will start seeing more. And you know what, Dave? Actually, yesterday I was talking to our manager that we deal with over at Sennheiser, and she said
Yep.
they're going to be doing this by December. They're also going to be every single part number and every single item that is Sennheiser will have been converted over to that EPOS name. So if you love Sennheiser brand, which I just started using this particular product, the speakerphone, and I use it for actually music. It's a really good little speaker. I have it connected to my PC for when I'm listening to Pandora while I'm working or something like that in between meetings. And it's a great little speaker, produces really fabulous, rich audio. And I would put it up against any of the other similarly in its category. It's one of the better products out there. But yes, so if you love Sennheiser and you're brand loyal to them, or you're actually new and you're trying to navigate through some of these speakers, Sennheiser has not gone away. They've just rebranded and changed their name to EPOS. So if you see that, or if you want to, we can show some of the folks watching us the listing online for the other one, the speakerphone, the SP30 or 20, either one of them would be fine. But yeah, so EPOS was Sennheiser, and so you can continue enjoying the same quality audio that you've seen in Sennheiser in the past. They make great microphones. They make great, and then you can see on our listing, we still have the old logo on there, the old Sennheiser brand, but that does not mean that it's something different. It's for those folks that are getting, just like I had, you're actually getting the newer model. You're getting a fresh model that's rolling right off the factory lines. So the only difference here is the logo has changed and the name has changed, but everything built into the technology, the craftsmanship, the European design, everything's the same. And so that's our speakerphone. And for those that maybe you listen to music while you're working, it's a great device for that. Or maybe you're doing distance learning and you're listening to folks lecture throughout the day or for a couple of hours. The speakerphone is really a great tool if you're doing a lot of distance learning and you're tired of your laptop. The inadequate sound really that's reproduced by a laptop or a notebook or even an iPad, or even maybe your mobile phone, because these have Bluetooth built in. The Bluetooth technology allows you to use your phone and use that now as your speaker so that you can actually talk and listen to great quality audio. So Sennheiser SP20 would be their entry level model. The 30 introduces the Bluetooth capability along with the dongle. The 30 Plus, which is what we're showing on the screen right now, adds the dongle so that you can use it with your PC. And as we talked about earlier in our earlier segment about Bluetooth technology, you really want to use that dongle because you're going to get the best audio quality possible um, and enjoy the usage of that speaker. Um, all right. So as we move to the next topic, I wanted to see if, well, actually, we've got a couple more questions that I did not address. I'm being told here. Uh, Dave, did you have anything that you wanted to add on the speaker phones?
I want to talk about just the quick value of a speakerphone like this. So the headset brands that we carry, really what they're selling is hands-free communications. Headsets are hands-free, speakerphones are hands-free as well. And I think where we found a lot of success is that when folks are going home, they need some sort of device that sounds better than the speakerphone on their cell phone or the microphone and speakers within their laptop. They may not want to put a big clunky headset on. They're not on the phone 8 hours a day like we are. They're casually joining conference calls, some Zoom sessions. Maybe some of it is more listening than needing to talk. And the speakerphone is just a real inexpensive way to give you a much better experience. If you can hear people better, if you can communicate and they can hear you better, you're essentially going to do a good job. You don't need to have a headset to be hands-free. Please consider those benefits. It's a very inexpensive investment that's going to make your life a lot easier. And Rolando, the two that we're talking about here, the SP20, which is a corded USB option, we're selling those for $159, and then for the wireless, it's $239. The other beautiful thing about these devices, when things open up and people start traveling again, has a slick little case. You can put it right in with your laptop bag, and it's going to go wherever you need to go with it. Very travel friendly.
And I've got here that just so that you could see, I've just got the case right and just pull it up behind me. A very nice case. You could take it with you and drop it in your bag or your backpack or however you travel, and it just makes life just a little bit easier. So one of the things that we love videos here. If you haven't seen, we'd love to show you a video on the EPOS, and we got to get used to saying that now. The EPOS, formerly known as Sennheiser, speakerphones. Ori, take it away.
Ensure optimal teamwork and productive collaborations with Expand 30. A wireless speakerphone designed for mobile professionals that demand more. Lightweight, portable, and set up in seconds with flexible connectivity. Use this instant conferencing solution on the move or as part of a permanent setup. Renowned EPOS sound quality ensures a better communication experience for both callers and listeners alike. Thanks to industry-leading duplex performance, conversations feel natural and you can speak simultaneously while enjoying applications that drive the success of your business. Experience a flexible conferencing tool designed to meet the demands of modern businesses, ensuring optimal performance through optimal collaboration. Expand 30. Instant conferencing anywhere.
What an awesome product.
Yeah, no, it's great stuff. And thanks for the folks over at EPOS who letting us use that video. It really shows off the product very well. Why don't we go to the product page? Or I think we already did that. Ari. We're good on that. So the SP30, it's available now. If you're on Amazon, again, you have the benefit of getting that product right now. It's at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and click on it. We have plenty in stock right now, and those will be shipped out to you as soon as Amazon's robots can pick them and send them over to you.
Pretty soon, drones.
Exactly. If you happen to be in an area, actually, they were test piloting some stuff here in Virginia. uh, the that some further south, away from the nation's capital. There's too much going on for them to get that airspace in here. But further south, they've been testing it. So I have no idea if we even get it here in the Northern Virginia area. There's all kinds of sensitive federal buildings all over the place. So I don't know if they'll get to operate that here. But if they do, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Bring
that's
it
gonna
on.
be cool.
Jeff, Jeff, if you're listening, please get the drone delivery to our Northern Virginia area, our metro area here in the DC. And we were able to get the HQ for Amazon last year, and that was announced. And hopefully, maybe I don't know, maybe that'll get them to do the deliveries here for the drone. I don't know. We'll
There
see.
you go.
We'll see. So Dave, we're running close to the end here. Any other parting things that we want to circle back on here on the work from home for technologies, and on any other thoughts that you have?
We just want the folks to know that, you know what, if you're looking for the best in productivity tools, hands-free communications, come talk to Global Tech. We carry all of the main brands. We have close relationships with our partners. We ship out super fast, usually same day, best support. Um, Consider us when you're looking for these work at home tools.
All right. And one of the things, if you are considering other technologies, other platforms, one of the things that we could do is we do offer a number of devices that are designed for usage with mobile phones or with speakerphone or with PCs. And we want to just throw it to our homepage on Amazon, where we have featured several products. So or you could pull that up for the folks. Um, and show them if we've got that, the Amazon store, so that we've got a couple of different. Okay, we've got a couple of different platforms. So if you're on Microsoft Teams, or if you're a user that maybe you're looking for a webcam, which are very hot commodities right now, we've got a whole bunch of different items on our Amazon store, and the way to get there is just amazon.com/. Global Tech Worldwide, all together. And tech is TECK. So Amazon.com/. Global Tech Worldwide, and that brings you to our Amazon store. The other thing, if you want to connect with us, it's very easy. If you're on any of these platforms, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to reach out to us through those platforms, and we'll get in touch with you. If you have questions, maybe you run a group of other folks, whether they're sales or customer service, and you want some more advice on where to go in terms of which products are best suited for you. That's what we do all day long. So feel free to chat with us or send us an email. Or if you happen to be on Amazon, we do have a page on Amazon that has our phone number and our email. Or if you have the Amazon app, don't forget to follow us. I know it's hopefully I'm pointing right to it. I think it's up here somewhere. Follow us, and if you follow us, you'll get instant notifications on upcoming deals and streams where we're going to be featuring products. And we're looking to bring also some interesting guests along the way to provide a little more color and some background on some of these products and some of these technologies. So yes, don't forget to follow us. Wait, I think it's over here. I think so. I can't see it, but I believe it's over here somewhere. So follow us, and we'll be glad to get you the next installation of this video. So if you're watching us on the playback, thanks for watching us today. Dave, anything else? Last departing words. Let me see.
You had a trivia question for the folks.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. So the trivia question. So Ori, let's first bring up the question. There we go. In what year was the first Bluetooth device certified? The answer, drum roll, boom, 1999, and it was the GN Netcom, now known as Jabra, the 9010. And I actually had one of these devices. It is what they have today is so far better, but it looks like a traditional kind of headset. They threw Bluetooth chipset in there and a battery, and it was the first of its kind. So they were quite ahead of everybody else. And in '99, I think there was only a handful of that were Bluetooth. You had Ericsson, which then became Sony Ericsson. They had the T29 or T39, I believe, and those were some of the first Bluetooth phones. There was little mini Bluetooth phones. So that's it. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been awesome. I love interacting with our customers, and we look forward to bringing you more of this fabulous content in the future. So thank you from the nation's capital, and Dave.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Rolando, it was great to see you again.
Likewise. Good seeing you too.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.